More than 30,000 people die from guns every year in the United States. Chicago is plagued by a gun homicide rate much higher than New York or Los Angeles, which have shown sizable decreases in gun deaths. Still, homicides from guns are half of what they were here more than a decade ago.
The city of Chicago is bleeding. Its life pouring into the streets every single day with rampant gun violence America hasn't seen since days of the Wild West. And with all the furor over guns in this country, Chicago finds itself mostly ignored by local leaders and the federal government, who seem willing to let this city shoot itself into oblivion. So let's welcome to MidPoint radio talker, conservative commentator for the Washington Times and Breitbart.com, holding court with the Kelly Truth Squad, South Side of Chicago native who also plans on going up against Rahm Emanuel for mayor, William J. Kelly. Bill, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Bill, whose fault is this that a police department in one of the largest cities in America cannot bring this gun violence under control? Is it a mayor that simply is unwilling to do certain things? Is it a federal government and an attorney general that seem more interested in other parts of the country? There has to be a reason why.
Well, sadly, the reason is very, very obvious, and it's right under our nose. Our current mayor, Rahm Emanuel, is the most anti-Second Amendment politician in the country today, possibly even in the world today. And we see the effects of that wrong-headed approach, wrong philosophy or ideology, whatever you want to call it, in the case of Rahm, in the streets of Chicago. Every week we have gun violence, shootings, deaths that would be front page news. It would be national news if it was taking place in any other city. But
why is it then? That's a good question. Then why is it not getting national attention? Why is it buried?
Well, now you're really kind of putting me in a corner of having to just say it out loud. What a lot of people are afraid to say. You know, the media in Chicago and nationally, they want to cover up for Rahm Emanuel. They want to cover up. They want Rahm Emanuel to be president of the United States someday. And that's why I'm running for mayor of the city of Chicago. First of all, because I love Chicago. I was born and raised in Chicago. I believe that Chicago is a great city, a city of neighborhoods, a city of real people. The only thing that we're missing is a real mayor. Rahm became mayor of the city of Chicago for one reason and one reason alone, and that is to secure the vote for Barack Obama's re-election campaign and to pave the way for Hillary Clinton to become president of the United States.
But you're then indicating that you believe Rahm Emanuel, though, might be doing this for his own presidential aspirations, 2020 perhaps?
100% yes. And to anybody outside of the city of Chicago hearing me right now, this might sound a little extreme, but, ask yourself, how did a completely unknown state senator named Barack Obama become a U.S. senator and then president of the United States within 2 years? Okay? There is, and by the way, I tried to warn people, okay? I tried desperately to warn people, local, state, national, that Barack Obama was on his way to becoming president of the United States. And for whatever reason, that fell on deaf ears. Let me just say this now, for the record, so no one can come back at me or anyone else, and say, or you for that matter, and say, why didn't you warn us? Why didn't you warn us about this? Guess what?
Well, let's do this. I only got about 90 seconds left. So
yes.
With a mayor now of a city that is suffering such incredible violence, 7,000 illegal guns took off the street last year in Chicago. What makes you think that a national electorate would give Rahm Emanuel the chance to lead this country when he has been, in the eyes of many, such an abject failure in Chicago?
Because they have total control of the media, the entertainment industry, the universities. And what we need right now, what I need, is to defeat Rahm Emanuel for mayor of the city of Chicago, to stop him in his tracks. I would implore, I would beg your listeners to please go to WilliamJKelly4Chicago.com. It's my name, William J. Kelly, FOR Chicago.com. And please take a look at my platform. If you agree, if you want to stop Rahm Emanuel from becoming president of the United States.
Then let's do this. I got about 40 seconds left. What would you do as mayor of Chicago to shut down the gun violence?
Well, first of all, I believe that the people of Chicago need to have their Second Amendment rights secured. At the very least, they should be given complimentary bulletproof vests I believe that the mayor is there to protect the citizens.
And you would ensure that those citizens are armed?
Yeah, well, the current superintendent of police has publicly stated that his number one priority is to re-elect Rahm Emanuel as mayor of the city of Chicago. Wrong. The police superintendent's number one priority should always be to serve and protect the citizens.
Okay, we're going to have to stop it there, Bill, because unfortunately we are all out of time. But I'll tell you what, you've given us a lot of food for thought. We're going to do just that, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks so much for your time.
God bless. Thank you.
All right, next up, Scott Walker in the fight of his political life. And on the ground, there are those who fear he will not emerge victorious next week. And at 43 minutes after the hour, we're looking at all the current polls from key races around the country on MidPoint.